So first of all, PostgreSQL. What is before going to do the discuss about the PostgreSQL? First of all, what is database? What is different types of data, and why it is database is required? Like in earlier days, some storage system will be there, like punch cards, magnetic tapes, hard disks, optical disks, SSDs, cloud storage. Like these are the storage systems, evolution of storage systems to store the data. Okay. Apart from that, you can also use to store the data in document, Word document, Excel sheets, Notepad, Notepad++. You can also store the data. But what is the difference between database and remaining storage systems? Like database management system. So database means it is a organized collection of data that is stored and accessed electronically. Okay. So the main purpose of database means it will store the data and we can manage the data and we can provide some securities kind of thing, and we can retrieve the data efficiently whenever we require, and we can access the data electronically. Okay. But here, coming to the database, there are several databases are there, like RDBMS and NoSQL database. So RDBMS means Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, SAP HANA, PostgreSQL, MySQL, MariaDB, SQLite, Firebird, Teradata. These are all called RDBMS. NoSQL means Elasticsearch, Cassandra, MongoDB, okay, and some Hadoop kind of databases like Big Data, Hive, okay. So these are all NoSQL databases. So what is the difference between RDBMS and NoSQL database means? Observe the difference. RDBMS, relational database management system. Relational, that means we can represent the relationship between the tables, one table and another table, one table to many tables. Okay, we can represent relationship between, like primary key, foreign key kind of relationship between them. Okay, we can represent constraints on a column, like default constraint, check constraint, unique key constraint, not null constraints. Okay, if you create the not null constraint means records will not be allowed if the column is null. Okay, so such kind of restrictions, constraints means some kind of restriction. Okay, so these relationships and constraints we can represent in RDBMS only, and we can write the logic, business logic, okay, in RDBMS. But coming to the NoSQL, we can't write the much business logic compared to the RDBMS. We can fetch the data by writing the query, and then we can write the business logic in API level if we use NoSQL kind of databases. But RDBMS, we can write more logic in functions or procedures, and we can call that functions or procedures in API level. Okay. And here RDBMS, it will support proper data format only. Okay. And first of all, what is different types of data formats, like structured data, So RDBMS will allow structured data and semi-structured data, XML, JSON formats, unstructured data, text files, audio files, video files. Okay. So RDBMS supports structured data, and some advanced features are there like JSON formats. So recent versions of RDBMS will support JSON formats also. Okay. Earlier days was not available, but I think last uh, 5 years or 5 to 10 years, I think. So JSON format, JSON kind of data type is there, so that we can store JSON data also. Okay. So unstructured format means many of the people will not store these kind of data in RDBMS. So in MongoDB, we have GridFS to store these kind of files. Okay. So next, these are the RDBMS. Okay. But a full stack developer means he should know one front end technology like Angular or React or .NET something, and API. So Node, Java, Python, okay, and .NET. Okay. And database means it is better to know one RDBMS like Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, any kind of RDBMS. Then you can have a knowledge, minimum 50% of knowledge of other databases. For example, if I know Oracle well, then I don't take much time to migrate Oracle to SQL Server or any kind of database. Okay. So I know SQL Server in earlier days. I started my career with SQL Server only. After that, I migrated to MySQL. It doesn't take much time. That means hardly 1 week or 2 weeks. That's it. I can able to write the logic in my MySQL. Why? Because I know SQL Server very well. So that's why it doesn't take much time to migrate to MySQL. So I know SQL Server and MySQL, and 1 or 2 weeks is enough to learn PostgreSQL. That's it. Okay. So this is advantage of learning the database. Okay. So please concentrate on learning one database so that you can work on any kind of RDBMS. Okay. And next, history. So PostgreSQL was developed by Professor Michael Stonebreaker at the University of California in 1970s. After that, so many versions are released in 1986 and 95, 96. Okay. These are the year names, years, and version names. Okay. Now, recent PostgreSQL version is 17, and PostgreSQL 18 is about to release. Okay. So that is about PostgreSQL history. Next, advantages. It is open source, so no need to pay anything, free of cost, standard compliance, and advanced data types like JSON, HStore, and array data type kind of thing. And querying capabilities also available, strong security, reliable and stability, and performance wise also it is better, and it will support concurrency. And coming to the tools, it can work with BI tools like Tableau, Power BI, and Metabase, and ORM also we can support. It can support. And what are the tools I mean, once you install PostgreSQL in your laptop, then we need some GUI, graphical user interface kind of thing, to interact with the database. So for that, PG admin tool, DBViewer, data grip, these are the tools to connect PostgreSQL database, like VS Code. Okay. And cross-platform, it can run on Linux, Windows, Mac OS. Okay. And community and tooling. So these are the already we discussed. And strong integration with programming languages, Python, Java, Node.js, and .NET. Okay. So these are the application areas of PostgreSQL, like social media we can use, banking and finance domain, healthcare, geospatial applications, e-commerce platforms, analytical and reporting systems, IoT platforms, SaaS platforms, telecommunication, government data portals. Okay. And this is the download link for PostgreSQL. Okay. So this is about PostgreSQL introduction.